Hello everyone, this is Daryl. In this video, I'm going to talk about making it easier to finding a name or switching a name, moving a name, so on and so forth, when there are more than one of the same names in the family tree. Take for instance, let's say, let me go ahead to my little sample. What if you want to change your name and there are 50 individuals with commas used as identifiers. Or if you're trying to change your name and you have 4, 5, 10 different individuals with the name James Smith. So how do you switch? What I mean by switch, let's say, for instance, let me click one of these Jameses. All right. All right, since I'm logged in as an administrator, I can edit. All right, so let's say, for instance, I wanted to switch James's father and his name, or he's identified with a question mark. Now, if there were 20 question marks, how do I identify? How do I know which one is the correct person? Well, this is what I do. I go to the individual. Let me get out of there. All right, let's say exit. All right, so what I do, I first go to to the individual to make sure that I'm getting ready to move or link the correct person. So let me find one of them. All right, let me use the question mark and someone with a question mark. All right, someone with a question. So we had 4. Now, if I want Mary, all right, if I want Mary, see that question mark? So if I want the right person, I'm going to go to that person's name or whatever's used to identify that person. All right, and I'm going to change it to something that will help me find it much easier. Watch. All right, so instead of going in and finding 50 of these individuals with the same name or symbol, I'm going to make a little note so I can know which one I'm looking for. All right, let me see. This is the one. You got it? So I'm going to hit save, and that's temporary. So later on, when I want to go and look, I'll just use this name. When I want to switch a name, when I want to go back to finding that name, let's say if I was looking for a spouse and I'm looking for that spouse, this is the one. If I typed in the word Monday, well, at least I know which one I'm looking for. So I click that. Since I know which one I'm looking for, that's the one I'm looking for. And that's there. And I click save. And as you can see, this wants you to confirm this information here. Blah, blah, blah. This is the one. Father is blah, blah, blah. If it's correct, leave the check in. If not, take the check out. All right. Now, that's that. So, what if, again, I add a child and I want to switch the child, someone who already exists in the family tree? Take, for example, what if there were, let's say, I have a cousin, I have a few cousins named Joseph Hodges. Well, If you go to the tree, you might find 5 Joseph Hodges. So how do you know which one you're looking for? Not that it's in this tree, but again, if I were to go, let's say if this was one of the Hodges, one of the Joseph Hodgeses, I would first go to that name. Let me create a Joseph Hodges real quick. Give me a second. All right, create. Since I know that name doesn't exist right here. All right, Joseph. Okay, Joseph. That's Joseph Hodges. Hodges. All right, I save. Now, later on, so we're going to pretend that we have 10 Joseph Hodgeses. All right. Well, we have 10 Joseph Hodgeses. So how do I make sure that this is a Joseph Hodges I want? Well, when we go into that, first I go into this Joseph Hodges' profile and I type in something that will stick out above the others. So let's say I'll put in a symbol. That's simple. The $sign. I click save. Now, when I'm looking later on in life, or in the future, or in a few minutes rather, when I'm looking for that Joseph Hodges, either there, so let's say Hodges. When I'm looking for that Hodges, I'm going to click next. Now, if 20 Hodgeses were to appear, but only one Hodges is going to have that $sign. And that's the one I want. And then I click done. And I would click add this name. Now, once I'm finished with that Joseph Hodges, then I will correct this. I will remove that $sign or that symbol or whatever I use the statement. I will remove it and place it in its correct state. That's how it should look. And as we can see, I'm connected to the correct Joseph Hodges. So I have to make another change. Let's say still using Joseph Hodges as an example, or even if this was question marks or anything. And, because in a tree you have more than one different name. You might find 7 Daryl Grahams. Oh, Lord, someone might say. But let's say we're going to do the same thing over. All right, first I want this to stick out. So I'm going to add something to make it stick out. Okay, I use the percentage sign. All right, if this was a female, let me click save. Okay, since I'm on Joseph Hodges, I said if this was my cousin Jonias, I'm looking for her name, so on and so forth. Joseph's, one of the younger Joseph's daughter. All right, so I'm going to go here. And let's say if I was looking for Jonias' father, where are we at? We would go here, click here, and we look. Or if this was question mark's son, if this was question mark's daughter, well, how do we know which question mark we're looking for? That's because we would look for the question mark with the symbol, the $sign, or whatever sign we use. And basically, that's how you do it. And remember, after you use your temporary, like your little symbol, so that it'll stand out above the others, once you link the two individuals correctly, go back, remove the symbol, and click save, and that'll be it. Don't worry about that, because the reason I got that happens because I had nothing. I had no symbol in both the first and last name. Even if I do this, one, I just a period in each one, it will save it. All right, long as there's something in the first and last name. As you can see, it saved it. All right, that was an extra tip there. Any questions or concerns, let me know. Thank you for listening.